Now this is interesting. You're going to want to watch this one because this is a real contender for a Christmas present this year. Stick around. Let's look at the Losi Micro B. Right, so why is this a contender for your Christmas list for a loved one this year? Well, this is the Losi Micro B 124 two-wheel drive buggy. It's a ready-to-run buggy, and unlike those ones that you get in supermarkets, the ready-to-runs, like this little fella here, it's much more professional than this. This is something that will cost you around £15. You put a couple of little batteries in there and off it goes. You can't really do much to it. If it gets broken, you just throw it out. However, this is a lot more expensive. This retails currently at around about £99. I picked mine up for £98.99. As a Tamiya addict though, why have I gone off brand? Why am I recommending this? I'm going to compare the Losi to a cheap Tamiya model. Now you can pick up a Tamiya Grasshopper for around about £85. That's one of the cheapest Tamiyas out there. I don't have a Grasshopper. I have the next best thing, which is the Hornet, and that retails currently at around £115, £116, depending on where you buy it from. So for your price, for £98, £99, you get everything. You get your transmitter, you get a ready-to-run car, you get a battery, you get a little charger as well, which we'll have a look at in a second. So for 98 quid or £99, you're getting a ready-to-run model. All you have to do is charge up the little battery in there and off it goes. For this, let's look at this one for around about £116. What are you getting? Well, you're getting the build of a Tamiya car. And if you love building those cars, then obviously Tamiya is the way to go. But if you just want something ready to run straight out of the box, then this is something you'd enjoy. Also with this, you are going to have to get other stuff. So your initial outlay of money, you've also got to buy your battery charger, your batteries to go in the transmitter. You're going to need your servo. You might need your speed controller as well. So it racks up. You're probably doubling the price almost of the actual car to get it all running. Like I said, this, you get it all. You get your transmitter. You even get your little AA batteries to go in the transmitter. The servo, the motor, everything's already in there. We'll have a look at that in a second. So I think for price, you can't do better than this if you're looking at the two for a Christmas present. What if you want to do a little bit more though? What if you want to do some mods and upgrades and all that sort of stuff? Well, it's going to be the Tamiya for that. As you can see, my Hornets had a few alterations to it, a little bit of bling and all that sort of stuff. This Tamiya platform though is not one of the best for upgrades and making it go faster. You can do it if you know what you're doing, but a lot of aftermarket parts for the Grasshopper and Hornet are just basically cosmetic and making it look a little bit more prettier. But like I said, if you want that build on Christmas morning to open a box and have all this kit in front of you and have this project to do, then I think you've got to go Tamiya. With this, look at it, it's already there for you. Tiny, compact, the servo is in there, tiny little servo, the motor's at the back. You've got your little speed controller on the top, and there is a little 2S LiPo battery in there as well. It's all there for you. There are upgrades for this. You can bling it out. I have seen different coloured shocks and aluminium support arms and battery holders, the lot. It's all out there, so you can make this your own. There's even a clear body, so you can give it a little spray paint and totally customize this little thing so it's a complete individual car just personally to you. So there is options to play with its looks. All those upgrades though, I don't think they're gonna affect the performance of the car. It is tiny, so I don't really fancy, you know, undoing all that to try and upgrade little parts. You can see the little dog bones there on the back. But yeah, with my eyesight, I don't relish the job of trying to unscrew all this sort of stuff, put in some aluminium, red, green, yellow parts or whatever I choose, and then screw it all back together. I'll probably just leave it as it is. Talking shocks though, the Tamiya Hornet shocks are very, very basic. You know, a spring pogo stick sort of shock. They are not the best shocks in the world. Again, you can mod that if you know what you're doing. But this comes with oil-filled shocks. Just watch this when I drop it on the floor. Yeah, nice and absorbing. Brilliant shocks on such a little vehicle. So I think, again, the Losi wins for the shocks against the cheaper Tamiya. This is what you're getting for your money with a Losi. Obviously, the batteries are already in my transmitter, sorry. And it is a sort of decent rig, you know. It's not going to change the world, but it's better than toy grade, obviously. You can adjust your steering trim and rate on there. Gives you a little status, your battery status. And on the other side, you can change the speed. So if you want one of the kids to have a go, you can bring down the speed, you know, if they're not that confident of driving it, or you can whack it up. And then you can adjust your servo adjustment on there as well, and your little on-off button. But yeah, simple trigger and steer transmitter. You've got your battery, your 2S LiPo battery there, very small, compact, obviously, it has to be to go into the car. You get your charger. So charging takes around about an hour. I charged this up yesterday, and an hour, and it gives you about 20 minutes of playtime with it, around about that. It gives you some little tools as well, so if you do want to make all those little adjustments, there's some tools there. But that's what you get for your money. Everything you need just to get this car up and running. You will need a plug for your USB connection though, but I'm sure you've got plenty of those lying around the house. In reality, this is all you need to take out with you if you want to have a little RC fun. So this can simply slip into a bag and off you go. With a Tamiya, it's going to be a lot larger, a bit bulkier, but yeah, this is quite easy to transport around. When it comes to driving these cars around on rough terrain, then I'm going to have to give it to the Tamiya, obviously. It's a larger car, higher ground clearance. It can take on more different types of terrain than the Losi can. This is brilliant for some indoor fun, some nice, flat, smooth surfaces. You might want to take it down the skate park or the kids park or wherever. You'll take your children out and stuff like that. Where there's a nice, smooth surface. It will handle it. This, obviously, can do all that as well, but it's going to take on more of the rough terrain, so gravel and sand and grass, where I think this would struggle. And again, this is ideal for sort of indoor fun, whereas this is going to struggle unless you live in a mansion with rather large rooms. Let's take this outside and see how it does. So you know what? I am an RC Tamiya addict, and I love Tamiyas. I love the builds. I love collecting them. As you can see around my room, you know, there's plenty on the shelves. But that being said, if I woke up on Christmas morning with this as a gift, and within an hour I've got it racing around, I would absolutely love this. I think it's well worth your money. If I was going to pick a Hornet Grasshopper against this, I may well pick a Tamiya just because of my loyalty to that brand or my love of that brand, but I am so glad I got this. I would highly recommend putting this in your collection or gifting it to someone on Christmas if you can afford it. I know it's pricey for the size of it, but it is well worth it. Highly recommend the Losi Micro B. I would go out and get one for Christmas. Until the next time, I'll see you later.